I just want to say I'm sorry. I can't apologize enough.
He killed a local police officer, but will an apology today be enough to save his life? Twinsburg police officer Joshua McTarian was gunned down nearly 2 years ago.
And today, the man who pulled the trigger and shot Officer McTarian to death took the stand to save his own life. Earlier this month, jurors found Ashford Thompson guilty of shooting Officer McTarian in July of 2008. Today, the sentencing phase of Thompson's case began. News Channel 5's Deborah Lee is live on 5 outside the Summit County Courthouse in Akron. And Deb, jurors now have the case.
Yes, they've had the case for a couple of hours now. Now, today, Ashford Thompson presented a team of witnesses to vouch for his character, but none was as compelling or emotional as Thompson himself when he spoke to his victim's family.
I just want to say I'm sorry. I can't apologize enough.
It was a remorseful Ashford Thompson standing before the family of Twinsburg police officer Josh McTarian today, saying that he understands his apology won't bring their loved one back. Thompson has admitted shooting and killing McTarian during a traffic stop 2 years ago because he believed the officer was reaching for his gun to shoot him. Today was the first time Thompson has displayed this kind of emotion. He said he's been keeping a stern face on the advice of his attorney.
If you see me with a straight face, it's not because I just have no feeling or I just hate people. I'm just some kind of cold-blooded killer. I wasn't raised like that.
Earlier, Thompson's family and friends, most who refused to be photographed, described him as a caring and compassionate man who had once considered going into the ministry. But prosecutors see a different Ashford Thompson, and they're hoping the jury will too.
And he killed an officer for doing his duty. Are you going to honor Mr. Thompson, or are you going to honor the law, that badge?
Now, again, this is the same jury that convicted Thompson last week, now is deliberating, deciding his fate. They have 4 choices. They can send him to prison for 25 years to life, or for 30 years to life, or they can send him to prison without any chance of parole, or they can decide death. And, of course, we are in the courtroom, and we will be there until their decision is announced. Live in Akron, Deborah Lee, News Channel 5.
Deb, really a striking change in his demeanor, as we saw in your story.
Absolutely right. At one point, while his attorney was giving his closing arguments, I mean, he was crying uncontrollably, and it seems that he was very sorry for what had happened. But he said before now he had had kind of a straight face because his attorney had told him, you have to be respectful, listen to the judge, and keep a straight face. But today, all of the emotion came out.
And now we wait for the sentence. All right, Deb, thank you.
Hey, man, this is a tough one, man. This one here is a tough one. You know, I have to say honestly, man, I'm not really sure how to feel about this one. Because as a black man, as a black man, I kind of resonate. I kind of relate to being pulled over by police officers. You know, in the past, I've had the police pull a gun on me. And point the gun right at my chest. And order me out the car. So, I'm just saying that to say, man, I wasn't there at the scene, so I don't want to convict the man in my mind, although he's already convicted in the court of law. I'm not going to sit here and convict the man because I wasn't at the scene. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe the officer was pulling the gun out to shoot the man. I mean, hell if I know. None of us know, honestly, but that man and that officer. But this is just a tough one, man. For guys like myself to pass any type of judgment on this. Although, by all means, it is wrong to shoot a police officer. They are there to protect and serve, man. They're there to protect us. At least that's what they're supposed to do. But in our communities, in our urban communities, man, it's a different story. It's a different picture when it comes to the police dealing with us. And a lot of times, it don't turn out too well. You know, it turned out tragic for a lot of us. So, like I said, I'm not really sure how to feel about this one here. But what I can say is, once they get you in that system, and they have you down for a case like that, I don't care what lawyer you get. I don't care what lawyer you get, how much money you have. They will try everything. You and your lawyer will not have a fair trial. They will try everything. Understand that. There is no win. You know, that's probably like a 1% out of 100 chance that somebody would beat a case like that. You know, and I think they said that cop was shot in the head. So yeah, it makes the man look like a monster. Well, whether he was a cold-blooded killer or just a guy just casually driving along and the police pulled him over for a traffic stop and it got out of control, and he thought that the police was reaching for his, you know, for his firearm, and knowing guys like, you know, that's from certain areas, you know, in the urban community, you're already on edge. When the police pull you over, you're already watching these officers to make sure they don't reach for their gun or put their hand on their hip. You know, it's like you have to be a person of color to understand, you know, our perspective in how we look at these type of things, man. You know, because a lot of us has fallen, man, to the hands of a corrupt officer. So it's like, how do we differentiate the good ones from the bad ones? You know, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. But you know, when they get you in that system, man, it ain't really a whole lot you could do. You know, and your lawyer know that. Your lawyer know that. Like, his lawyer knew, but he wasn't going to break it to him as, because that's his money. You know, a lawyer is not going to tell you, hey man, we don't have a chance. A lawyer is not going to tell you we don't have a chance, man. They want that money. They go in, yeah, they'll show up. They already know how it's going to go, but they'll still show up because they picking that bag up. That's what they doing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, some lawyers are trying to fight, but it's just a situation like that. An attorney, you know, can be under the microscope after winning a case like that as well. So, you know, it's a bad thing. It's a bad situation for everybody involved. You know, but for the guy, as you can see, he's like, I'm not the only one that was involved. You know, you can see that the man is remorseful. You can see he's remorseful.
It's a terrible thing, but I wasn't the only one.
He said, I'm not the only one that was involved.
For the first time ever, accused cop killer Ashton.
When you get in a situation like that,
Your Honor,
a lot of people will do anything for their freedom back.
I can't get any kind of justice. I'm tired of it at the end of my rope.
And
what can I
do? It's a bad
County,
situation for everybody involved, man. Like I
Fox
said,
8 News.
You never want to end up in something like that. You know, that's ugly. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and convict the man, you know, by my judgment. But my judgment is not what matters. You know, the court of law is what matters. They did investigations, and you know, they looked into the situation, and this is what they come up with. So that's what this man's gonna have to live with. Hey, if you enjoy watching these type of videos, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe on the way out the door. Help your brother get into the algorithm so I can keep bringing you more videos just like the one you just saw. Anyway, until next time, y'all stay up.
Yeah. Devil let to my soul, I can't let him get to me. Can't
can't let them get to me. Trying to be a different man, I'm not who I used to be. Had to switch my whole imagery, I'm a changed man. If I didn't believe in myself, who would've believed in me? Even when I was down, nobody knew I needed help. Who would've thought I ain't eat? Many days, many nights had to swallow my pride.